I think we're live. Are we live?
I think you're live.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, everybody. Crystal here. Today's the first day of me bringing Thought Tinkering to Thursday. Today's Thursday. Thought Tinkering Thursday to all of you. It is my desire to do this every Thursday, and I want to be bringing a wide range of thoughts. And I'm saying it in that way of thoughts because it's going to be, everything's evolving all the time, right? So as we sit here and we have these wisdoms to share, or we have information or anything like that, it might change the next time we're exposed to new information or another form of a life event or anything like that. So I want to do this as a way to share my thoughts with everyone, as a way to share all of my wisdom and information with everyone, as well as like a conversation. So if you're willing and open to participate in the conversation, you can do that. You can comment on the YouTube link. And in the future, we'll also have a link where you can call in if you want to be seen and heard by everybody as well, versus just in YouTube comments. So that will be an option. I'm not activating any of that today. Today is just kind of an introduction to this as a concept, and to me just kind of stepping into all of it. And of course it's live, so like things might get goofy, like things can happen and there's not much we can do about all of it. So today I am here with one of my favorite topics, which is aromatherapy. And I think that I will be sharing a lot of things about aromatherapy with all of you because there's so much misinformation out there, and it's really hard to weed through all of it. I am a trained aromatherapist, and I keep continuing my training. Right now I'm, amping up on my toxicology and my dosing just to keep it all really fresh. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, aromatherapy itself is a world where I learn stuff and then I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much more to learn, right? So the reason I wanted to start with diffusers is because that's often where people go. You sit there and you first start learning about aromatherapy and you're like, I have to have a diffuser, right? So I want to share my take on diffusers with all of you. So first of all, I just want to start by saying diffusers are pretty great. There's a whole bunch of different ones out there. It kind of started out, if you go back in time a little bit, with the ones that were usually some sort of a ceramic with a candle, and you'd put the water in and the oils in, and then that would heat the water and they would diffuse into the air. And now we have a lot more of the cooler, you put water in it and then you put your oils in there and it diffuses it into the air. So how do you use a diffuser? Is it actually effective? Is it worth it? Do you need one? I mean, gosh, these are all the questions, right? So they're nice to have. They are really great if you are wanting to freshen the air or bring some sense into the air and do things like that without using chemicals or scented candles that have different chemicals in them or anything like that. So it's, kind of a cleaner way. But I'm not going to say it's not toxic, because essential oils can be extremely toxic. So that's something to remember. There is environmental exposure, okay? And that's what's going to be happening when you're utilizing a diffuser. However, that can get into medicinal exposure if it's done in a certain way. And so that's what's really important. So for instance, if you're sitting here and you're wanting to just use a respiratory oil to have cleaning the air in your house, and it's really light and it's just kind of happening and flowing, and you're, let's say it's pine, okay? So you're literally cleaning the air. That's great and fantastic, but you most likely are not going to be getting a medicinal dose. So if you are struggling with respiratory stuff and you're really needing to clear out your sinuses, and you're really needing to like kill some germs like inside your body and do something medicinally, having just some drops of pine in your diffuser may not reach that level. And this is where, it can be kind of frustrating because it'll be like, you have to seek out an aromatherapist. Like, you really need to be working with somebody who knows what they're doing, who can give you a strong enough dose to give you a medicinal effect to heal and remedy whatever it is you're working with. You also have to be safe. So, for instance, if you have a diffuser going and you put thieves in there and you have, a daycare, you could be medicinally dosing all of those kids, and that's also not okay. So it's an interesting range of the fact that, like, on one hand, you're not going to reach a medicinal dose with the diffuser at all. And on the other hand, you could be medicinally dosing little people if you're using inappropriate oils around kids, and especially depending on the size of the room. So that's one of the reasons why aromatherapists don't generally like use diffusers, aside from being like, okay, go ahead and throw that into your diffuser to like bring up your mood or to like amplify something you're already doing. And they will discuss with you, how big is your room? How are we using this? To really make sure that you're at a safe level and doing all of that. But they're hard to dose because you have to know, the exact measurements of your room. Not just like, oh, it's a 10 by 12, but like how high the ceilings are. Do you have doors open? So there's all these little factors that kind of go into it that make it different and harder to like really pinpoint the dose. And so that's why aromatherapists generally will use things where we can control the dose, so that way you can actually be getting the medicinal amount that you or whomever in your family you're working with needs. Now, with all of that, diffusers can be really great for putting like some citrus oils in there, or for doing different things that do, make the room smell nice, or bring a little bit more of that like uplifting or calming energy, so that way it can all feel really nice. Or, if you did have somebody in your home who was sick, to like clean the air a little bit around you, especially if you don't have like an air purifier or anything like that. So it's just a matter of using the appropriate oils then that would be safe for everybody, and for, whatever durations of time based on the size of the room and all of that stuff too, that keeps it all really safe. Okay? So one thing I think I want to do with all of this too is for, this can reach anybody everywhere, right? But for everybody who is local to me, and you all pretty much know who you are, I am going to also have like a product for the week. And this is something I've wanted to do for a long time, is to have like a product for the week that would then be discounted for that week. So I think I'm going to throw those into here. So I'm going to show you some of the diffusers that we have, just because, again, like, they're nice to have if you want to be freshening up the air, or you want to be amplifying, having like a respiratory oil in there, or doing something that's really uplifting for your mood. The other thing is then the product that I'll have as like kind of the feature is going to be our kids line, the Pranaram kids line, because they are gentle and pretty diffuser safe, and they smell really nice, and they kind of have that, like, they give you that like uplifting or soothing type of sensation and feeling, and putting that all in the air and everything. So I might have to take these headphones off for a second to reach everything. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna leave them off for just a minute, so I can't quite hear myself the same way, but I'll trust it. This one I do believe is discontinued and we only have one left. But what's nice about this one is it does have an intermittent time button on it. So you can have it going constantly or you can have it turning off and on in increments, which can be really nice, especially when you are doing stuff with children in the house. That way it's not like a constant barrage of the oils being in the air. It also has the ability to change how much mist is coming out. So that's kind of neat. I don't think we're going to be getting more of these, so I do only have one in stock. And any of the diffusers that I show you today too, again, if you're local, I'll do 10% off of them, which is nice. If you wanted to come in this week and grab a diffuser, you can always email me to make sure that somebody's here and the door is open. But it's just the usual. You fill it with water, you put some drops in. That's kind of how all of these are. And this one I'd say uses anywhere from 5 to like 15 drops depending on what you're using. And then this one, I'm just taking the cords off. This one I believe is called a Seascape. This one is really pretty. This one does not have the intermittent, so it is either on or off. But it also, it's just so pretty. And then when it is plugged in and you have like the light on, it's like a really nice night light. So again, this would be one where it's like you could kind of turn it on for a while and let it go. And again, like if you're not in the house, like for instance, sometimes I'll have the diffuser going when I'm in a totally different part of the house. Like it'll be going off in the living room while I'm down in like my other kitchen doing different stuff, you know, and then I'll come back up there and then I'll turn it off. Basically, if you step into a room and you can smell it, kind of like having a bouquet of flowers, that's your cutoff point. It should not be like abrasive. It should not be such a huge dose because then you're like borderlining into if you're getting a medicinal dose or not, which of course would then depend on if that's what you're needing and wanting. And again, it's just not straightforward. Like if you're trying to use essential oils for like anxiety or depression, coming into a room like that might be fine, but it's not actually geared towards helping you get the dose you need to actually help your situation, if that makes sense. You want to be utilizing them at a specific time and getting the exact dose that you're needing. This one is fun. This one is called the Celeste, and it's advertised towards kids, but it's just really nice small one. And it does have like the changing, is there a different picture of it? It has the changing colors, which is always fun. And or you can like set it on a color. But again, this is another one that's just kind of like continuous, and maybe you can see the colors up there. But it's just continuous, and so it would be a matter of turning it on or off. And this one you only use like 5 drops of oil in there, which is really nice. Because I'm huge into like not wasting oils either. So like, you know, let's really honor and respect the whole process. It's a lot of plant material, you know, to distill and create these oils. So I really like to you know, minimize the impact if possible and not go too crazy with using them. So then I'm just going to tell you you know, when I'm talking about having a product for the week, I'll go ahead and put my headphones back on too so I can hear myself again. I don't need to.
If you don't want them.
Okay. All right, I'll take them off. It's fine. That way you can just see my lovely whole head. How about that? Okay, so for the product for the week though, so the diffusers, I just said, yeah, okay, we'll do 10% off just because you're watching this if you want to come in and get one. But for the product of the week, I'll do more. I will do 25% off, whatever our product for the week is. So that is the Purify, which is the kids blend, which one of the things that one of the things that I like about this one is it has Nyauli in it, which is like tea tree, but a little bit more gentle. So this one is great as we're, into school season and the changing of the seasons and everything. So when you have other children in your home or your kids are coming home and they're exposed to germs, or while they're at school, if they're at school, you can diffuse this and kill all the extra germs in the air and just kind of like give it that nice clean space. The sleep is one that is geared towards that very soothing and relaxing, winding down. This one might be a good one after school, a little while before bed, to just have a little bit of that in the air, And what we're doing, a huge thing with kids under the age of 10, is you are developing their scent memory. So you do want to be like super mindful of like how you're doing that and what that looks like for them, because that lasts their entire lifetime. But that's like a good one, especially if the kids like it, to do just a little bit before bed. You could just diffuse it for a short while and then, start the wind down process. And then another fun one is the play. And this is one that might be great maybe right after school if they have homework or anything like that. Could give them a little bit more focus. It really helps give a little bit more of that energy, but also that focus. Or it would be one that would be nice on like a really dreary day. And these are great for adults. I mean, they just smell nice. I just like to start with them for everybody out there who is, having kids in their house and everything, because I like to stay in the range of safe. So all of these are not something where you're going to be super medicinally dosing somebody if you threw them in your diffuser, yet you can be doing some good stuff to your air by purifying it, making it smell nice, bringing some of those scents that will bring these types of feelings and sensations that you're maybe wanting to bring more of into your home. So I think that's pretty much everything I really wanted to talk about today. Again, like this is just thought tinkering. And so another quick little snippet about that is a long time ago, I had a mentor who taught me a lot of really cool spiritual things, and she nicknamed me Tink for a while. Because I just had all this fairy energy, and though I don't necessarily super resonate with Tinker Bell, I do resonate with the concept of tinkering and like just kind of like playing with stuff and looking at it and exploring it and tearing it apart and just seeing what does what, cause and effect kind of a thing. And I do resonate a lot with that fairy energy, of course. So that is why I decided to go with thought tinkering. So, we're just kind of like playing with all of this stuff, playing with all of these ideas and any of this wisdom that I have to share with you. So if you join me live, which I'm not sure, I didn't really look to see if anybody's watching live, I appreciate you. And if you're watching this later, you can always throw a question or a comment in on YouTube as well. Or if you're local, you can reach me through our website, moreheadmassage.com. And I hope everyone is having a lovely day. Here it is a sunshiny day today, so I hope you're soaking that up. And have a good one.